Good morning and welcome to this brand new Sunday Start yoga. We're here to acknowledge the end of August. It's certainly been a different summer for most of us. And also be kind to ourselves at the weekend. It's just 30 minutes. I hope you can join me. Roll out a yoga mat or have a comfortable surface to practice on. And listen to your own body as you go through how I guide you. So listen to your lower back, your hips, and be kind. And we're going to start in kneeling. So come with me, 30 minutes Sunday Start Yoga. Starting in kneeling, and have the knees directly below the hips and have your wrists below the shoulders. And we're going to tuck our toes under and we're going to slide the hands forward and ease the hips back towards the heels. Now, don't worry if this doesn't happen instantaneously. Simply allow yourself to be like a little wave, almost like a little sea creature as you ease back into the heels, gently lowering the forehead to the ground if it's comfortable, and allowing yourself to feel gravity drawing you, even supporting you. And remember, yoga is not just an exercise, it's a state of mind. So become familiar with the shoulders, with the hips, allowing yourself to ease gently into and back towards the heels. And we're going to take a little journey off to one side, so you can pick a side that you want to gravitate towards and pad the hands along so that you're maybe either at 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock, depending on which direction you have headed in, and feel that lovely stretch along the opposite side. Just ease the fingertips a little bit further. Take several breaths here, dropping your awareness deep into the hips. Noticing how the body moves and accommodates the breath, the lift in the chest, the gentle motion in the abdomen. And then allow your hands to pad all the way to the other side. I'm a bit restricted here, but hopefully you've got more space and you can go all the way to the opposite side and gently lower the head. Quiet introspection. No call for anything else at this time in the morning. As you slowly come back to the centre and allow yourself to move into cat pose, flipping out the feet and maybe giving them a little tap. We're going to come into a downward dog pose. Now, some of you might prefer to stay in cat pose by looking forward and up, exhaling, lowering the head. But if you want to come with me into a slightly stronger pose this morning, tucking in your toes, keeping the knees bent and allowing the hips to float back and up, but keeping those knees soft and allowing the forehead to drift back towards the knees with the neck nice and relaxed, the crown of the head descending, the balls of the feet nicely kind of supportive for springy feet, springy, slightly animated feet, and little kind of nodding heels. Spread the fingers, use the arches in the hands, almost like
They've taken on the life of feet themselves to lift you. Soften into the shoulders. Now we're going to drop down with both knees and take a deep breath in. Follow your breath now. Allow the arms to glide up. Allow the chest to lift ever so slightly. And then exhale and come back into the first pose that we did as we stretch the arms forward, keeping the toes tucked under. Inhaling, draw the hands towards your knees. Slide the hands almost up in front of the body, opening out on a deep inhale. Exhaling and coming all the way back. Tucking in the elbows if you need to protect your lower back. So moving with the breath, inhaling, drawing this lovely vertical line that then cascades almost like a bursting firework with the arms moving out to the side. And then drawing the hands back in to protect your lower back and coming forward on an exhale. One more time. Breathing in. Deep breath. And exhaling, drawing back. Well done. So we're going to come into cat pose, and we're going to give cat pose just a little bit of credit now by all doing it together rather than it being an alternative. You followed your breath beautifully there, so we're going to carry on with that. Follow your inhale, allow the chest to sink ever so slightly and looking forward and up, almost through the eyebrows. Shoulders softening, shoulder blades gliding nice and mobile as you exhale. And draw the belly button in, lowering the head, creating an arc, a rainbow shape with your spine. So follow your own breath now rather than my instructions. Be instinctive. This is a Sunday. We can kind of play it by ear. And when we're playing it by ear in our yoga, we are moving with our breath. It's our guide. It's our kind of metronome. Embrace an energizing inhale as you look forward and up, and squeezing out that exhale as you draw the tummy in. Wonderful stuff, well done. Take your palms towards the chest and we're going to step forward with your right foot. So stepping forward with your right foot so that you can, if you hear my knee clicking, you'll know that that's a little sign that we do need to protect our knees. So you can pad a little blanket under your knees if you wish. Drifting the arms up above the head. If you've got any shoulder injuries today or anything, palms can be at the chest. Drifting the arms up. And then taking the palms to the chest. Gently folding over the forward knee, tucking the back toe under, lifting the back knee and sending that right leg back into a strong plank pose. Drop your knees if you find that holding plank is a little strong for you this morning. And then we're all going to drop our knees anyway, and we're going to fold back, this time with the toes flipped down, all the way back into extended child's pose, lowering the forehead. Breathing in, keeping some flow going as you come back into your cat pose and take your left foot forward this time. Drifting the arms either towards the chest or indeed allowing the arms to elevate but soften the shoulders. Even allow the elbows to bend a little and sink softly into the hips. Palms together and then one hand to either side of the forward leg. As you gently lower the head, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, sliding back again into your plank pose. And remembering, of course, to breathe with a nice quality flowing breath. And if it helps, you can almost gather up some of that strength from the breath, almost imagining that you're breathing in through the soles of the feet, up to the crown of the head, and breathing out from the crown of the head, out through the soles of the feet. And it's amazing what this visual image of the breath moving all the way up through the body on an in-breath, all the way back down into the heels on an out-breath can do. Drop your knees. And again, flatten the feet and send the hips back into extended child or swan pose. Scooping everything up almost on an exhale as you arc into the spine again. Taking a deep breath, stepping forward once, twice, deep, 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 deep knees. So here we are with deep knees and our hands either side of the feet, perhaps just in front of the feet. And we're going to take our arms out in front of us, soften into the shoulders, sink back into the hips, and dive some of that body weight down into the balls of the feet. And then, as we start to straighten, 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 we can start to soften into the thighs and allow the arms to drift out to either side. Well done, palms together, and you can step wide so that you are facing your screen. Lovely, we're going to just do a few standing poses. This is just a half-hour class and it's Sunday, so we're not going to put any massive amounts of effort into this. But we do work with our strength, and the best place to galvanise strength is from the breath and using your intuition as well. If anything doesn't feel right for you, then you know to ease back. So, we're going to start on your right hand side. So you're going to turn your right foot out to 90 degrees. And you're going to imagine that you're on a beam, quite a narrow beam. Drift your arms out to shoulder height. Soften slightly into this knee, but almost extend forward. And then allow the right hand to gently fall down somewhere, supporting the back of the hand onto the inside of the leg. And take your top hand onto the hip. Roll that top shoulder back. And then, taking your gaze to the ceiling, if it feels okay for your neck, allowing that arm to drift up. And again, use the balls of your feet to dive some of your body weight down into. Use the arches of the feet to lift. And as you lift through the arches of the feet, feel the pelvic floor and the tummy engage. Take a few breaths here. Maybe even make a soft sound with your breath. Gently listening and tuning into it. So we're going to pivot back up with our arms out to shoulder height, and we're going to keep going to your right side. You're going to bend into your right knee, and you might need to broaden your base a little. Also, you might need to heel toe this foot forward so that the knee doesn't overtake the ankle. Stretching out the arms, but lifting the chest and turning the palms up. And then gently resting the elbow down onto the right knee. And we're going to make a nice windmill with our left arm. So we're dropping it back down towards the earth, but we keep moving. And we go all the way around and back to 12 o'clock. So you can do this in your own time. No need to rush. We take it at a lovely, gentle pace. And maybe you want to turn the revolution in the opposite direction. And what's happened to the legs? Are the legs beginning to tire a little? Are we still lifting from the ground, drawing a little lift into the arches of the feet, the pelvic floor and the tummy? I hope so. So the next time you cascade all the way down, start to rotate your body towards your right. Drop your hands down to either side. Just slide that right foot out to the edge of your mat a little bit and dropping into the back knee. And softly lowering the head. So it might be easier for you if you take both hands onto the inside of the right foot so that your right shoulder is inside the leg as well. And lower the head. Keep the tummy drawing in and the breath nice and fluid. So we're going to head down to the ground before we come back up again. So this is a little bit of a tricky manoeuvre for the hips. You're going to slide the hips back a little. Now start to lift the toes on the right foot. Now if this is totally uncomfortable for your lower back, keeping the fingertips onto the ground, you can start to come up, or if you feel comfortable, the lower back feels okay in this forward bend, you can draw the toes towards you, broaden with your collarbones, almost imagine that they are smiling, and just have a little peep up through the eyebrows without compressing the neck too much. Otherwise, we're up here in a more vertical position, and it's a little bit more of a balance, of course, that is required. So, you're going to take both hands into the inside of that right leg again. And just watching this back knee, we're going to flip round so that we're now sitting with the left leg folded and the right leg extended. Good. Take your hands behind your hips and come with me as you drift over towards your left, taking your right arm up and over. And only if you want to, you can repeat that again. You can maybe come back, do it with your breath. If you want to repeat it again in a stronger way, you can think about lifting the hips off the ground, rolling this knee over, pointing into your right toe, up and over you go. Have a little glance at the sky above. Keep lifting with the chest, hips lifting, and then on a deep breath you come back down to earth, hopefully with a soft landing. And we're going to bring both legs out in front of you, draw the knees towards you, and then send your hands over towards your left. And we're going to start to come back up into downward dog, walking with knees bent, the hands and feet together, nice soft knees. Inhale, coming up, and then you're going to step back, so again you're facing the screen. Hope I haven't confused you. We'll go and do exactly the same thing onto our left side. Okay, so we started off in the wonderful Trikonasana pose by rotating your left foot out to 90 degrees. Just have a glance down. Are you on an imaginary beam? Have you got this back foot turned in ever so slightly? And drift the arms up on an inhale. Lovely. Now, this forward leg is meant to be straight in the pose, but this is a Sunday morning. We're just going to go and adapt our bodies as long as we feel safe and comfortable and not too challenged in these poses. So it's okay to soften into that knee a touch. Almost imagine that you're growing and lengthening from the waist over towards your left, And then allow the back of the hand to land somewhere on the inside of the leg. It really doesn't matter where it is. I've kind of been here for the last 20 odd years. Some yoga students that I know really push into an opening across the top side of the body and lower the left hand down to the ground. That can end up in a slight compromise, so I'd rather you were up here and that the chest is open, that there's a lift here, there's a light feeling across the upper body, and there's stability in these strong legs. And do you remember the lift that you drew upon through the arches of the feet on the other side? We're going to do that again, and a lift and an engagement in the pelvic floor as well. Take the gaze high, if it feels okay for you, if not, look forward. And allow this lovely length to develop all along the right side of the body. The chest lifting, the sternum almost moving forward, the shoulder, the top shoulder moving back. Sliding the shoulder blades almost towards each other. Okay, that's quite a long time you've been in this pose. Really well done as you soften into your forward knee. And this time we are going to bend this knee, and to accommodate a drop into the hips, quite a deep drop into the hips, you might want to edge your left foot forward, sinking down. So the body will want to turn towards that leg. So that's okay, we know this, we're thinking about just encouraging that right shoulder, that right hip to open ever so slightly. But we're still lifting with the pelvic floor, so the hips are open, but the centre of the body line has this rather strong lift in it as you drop your elbow down onto your knee, but you're still lifting with the centre line of the body. That strength is being drawn up from the feet through the inside of the legs all the way up. And what did we do again? We did circles with this arm, didn't we? So we've got our top arm nicely elevated, and then we're going to take it in any direction you wish, but I'm going to choose to go back the way and warming into the shoulder joint nicely. Lovely big circles here. So we'll soon be finishing our yoga asanas. Asanas are postures, and we'll be moving on to breathing and meditation. And begin to switch direction and maybe just observe what has happened in the last 20 minutes or so. You've allowed your Sunday morning to become what it ought to be, which is exactly on your terms. Not being drawn by any sideshows, simply moving on this small patch within your home. So really well done, everyone. Next time you start to cascade that arm down, you can then start to square the hips forward. So your hips have done a great job at opening on this side and sort of facing towards the screen, but they're now going to face towards the end of your mat. You're going to drop your hand down at either side of the foot and then drop the knee down. And again, you can extend this arm forward. Which arm is it? It's your left arm, isn't it? Oh goodness. Let's speak about it being the arm nearest the leg on the inside. You're going to take it down into the inside and allow the hip sockets to release a little and for the head to gently lower. So well done, everyone. As we start to move down to sitting, you're going to draw the right leg in. So you're drawing it in, and your left leg is extending out to the side. I hope that worked where you are. I know rights and lefts can be a little tricky when we're not in the same room, but you're dropping your fingertips down. You've got the opposite leg folded this time, and you're taking your left arm up and over, enjoying a nice stretch. You can even ease these fingertips over. Have a glance up if it feels okay in the neck. And then we're going to either come back and repeat what you've just done, but if you want to work a little stronger, use this left arm as a kind of gracious swoop. Imagine almost like you're doing a contemporary dance. It's okay, no one's watching. As you sort of dig this heel in just a little bit, lift a lot of your weight onto your right wrist as you swoop your left arm forward, up and over you go, and a gentle point with the left toe and a gaze at the sky above you. We keep lifting with the hips. Breathing, strengthening and lengthening as you come all the way back down. It's quite a nice one to do with young kids, and you can do it moving. You can go up and down and swap legs and go up and down. Let's bring our feet together and wrap your hands around the toes of the soles of the feet, which are just nicely moving towards each other, and give a little bounce into the knees. Another nice thing that you can do with kids, either from crossed legs if it's easier, or in this Baddha Konasana cobbler pose, is the hands are come behind you, resting just a tiny little bit of weight back, but we move forward and up, lifting our hips off the ground, and then we can move and we can rock from side to side. And then it starts to become momentum at play. Just do that a couple more times, either side, and then allow yourself to slow it all down. And bringing the feet in front of you, bending into the knees. And it's absolutely fine to use some support to lower back down with, but if you can engage the tummy muscles just a little, maybe you want to gently lift the feet up. We're not doing the full boat pose as such, but there's a nice engagement with our strong tummies. And maybe a gentle lift in the chest again, maybe even taking the arms wide. Tucking your hands back under the knees, and we're going to roll back down. Support yourself with your hands if you need to, otherwise use that lovely strong abdominal strength that you have as you settle down onto the ground. We're going to do a short breathing practice followed by the loving kindness meditation. Notice your in-breath, and as you follow it, allow your arms to drift up, quite wide if they need to, resting the backs of the hands onto the ground. Noticing there's a little arc in the lower back, we can engage the tummy and broaden the back of the pelvis into the floor, drawing the chin in. Taking several breaths here, and then next time we exhale, so deep breath in, followed by an exhale, we can bring those arms all the way back. And come with me, inhaling, arms going up and over. Exhaling, allow that arc that you're painting with your fingers to paint its way back down to the ground, following your own breath now, not mine. And I would like you to contract the back of the throat very, very slightly so that you can begin to hear your breath. And pay particular attention to the exhale, because it's amazing with this little contraction that you've made with the back of the throat. The breath is moving nicely over the vocal cords now. With this, we can lengthen our exhale. So you may find as you bring your arms back down to earth that you're having to slow down the speed of the movement to coordinate it with your breath. So lovely noisy breaths, no one can hear you, but the vibrations are resonating within and around you. I'd like you to do a couple more of these, listening to your own breath, following its gentle pace. Keep going. Check the time. Yep, it's fine. And then the next time you bring the arms back down to the earth, I want you to pause and allow the breath to return to its natural wave, and maybe it then becomes very quiet and almost elusive and even silent. And to complement that, we can turn our palms to face up so that there's a real softening of the backs of the hands against the floor. And along with that softening, you're aware of the other points of contact that you have with the earth. And there's a sinking, a softening at these little points. But equally, there is a little lift and there's lightness where the body feels almost suspended on the ground. It's got this wonderful relationship with the ground that is the most natural thing in the world. So the body feels light, and it also has points where it feels heavy and that it's sinking. And you are very welcome to stay here for the loving kindness meditation. But if you want to practice meditation as a regular healthy habit, I would encourage you to sit up. It is Sunday morning. Lean against something, that's always nice. And come into comfortable sitting or stay lying by all means. If you're in sitting, you might wish to take your thumb and your index finger together, turning the palms up. And this is known as Chin Mudra. You've done a wonderful job this morning. You've taken this 30 minutes for yourself, and we did tell you a little lie at the beginning of the class, a little tiny fib, because it's 30 minutes and 5 minutes of meditation, setting the tone for the day ahead. It's a Buddhist practice and it's known as the loving kindness meditation. That's its English translation anyway. And it allows you to recite a very, very simple passage to yourself and extending it to others. As you notice your breathing, as you notice your body, and as you become aware of the
closed eyelids and the space behind the eyelids, along with background noises and sounds around you. And we're going to start with a little focus on ourselves and the following. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease and support. A simple gesture to yourself as I invite you to turn your attention to somebody that you know, somebody close to you, a relative, a friend, and extend the same sentiment to them with this special person in mind. Say to yourself, may they be safe. May they be healthy. And may they live with ease and support. And allow the mental picture of that person to dissolve for the time being. And think about somebody else that you know, but you don't know that well. And without wanting to sound rude towards that person, you're a little indifferent towards them. So maybe somebody that you encounter maybe once a month or when you do the weekly shop. And with this person in mind, no matter how random, with this person in mind, extend the same sentiment. May they be safe. May they be healthy. And may they live with ease and support. Allowing that person to drift in your mind's eye, not getting too concerned about whether you're going to be able to look them in the eye again. Let's not worry about that. And let's turn our attention to somebody who perhaps we have little niggles with, some challenges. And with this person in mind, extending the same, may they be safe. May they be healthy. May they live with ease and support. Allowing that person again to dissolve. We conclude our loving kindness meditation by extending our awareness to everyone in the world, every creature that inhabits planet Earth. And sending this loving kindness sentiment to them. May they be safe. May they be healthy. And may they live with ease and support. So allowing this expansive gesture of gratitude to every living thing to just gently subside. Allowing your awareness to come back to the weight of your body sitting here on a Sunday morning. Allowing the space behind the eyelids and the light behind the eyelids to become a little closer to your focus, tuning back into the sounds around your home and outside. Taking the thumb and the index finger apart as you stretch into the fingers and bring the palms towards the chest. Gently lowering the chin, releasing into the neck, taking a deep breath in, extending the arms up and back down the center line of the body once more. A deep breath in and an exhale. Thank you for joining me. Really well done. 35 or so minutes. Go off and enjoy your Sunday. Thank you everyone, and well done.